Oh, oh my heck.
Okay. I used to be afraid of the world outside my door, so I lived within the pages of a book. I used to be so scared of what I couldn't control. It seemed whatever I touched, I broke. The wind at my back, the grass so green, the sun on my face, it was all a dream. Till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I'll help you stand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning. And as long as we are together, life can only get better. I used to be embarrassed about my eyes, my nose, my smile, so I hid my face behind my hair. I spent so many years feeling like I was drowning. Now finally I'm coming up for air. Laughing out loud, being part of a team, touching the stars, it was all a dream. Till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I understand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning. And as long as we are together, life can only get better. Life can only get better.
It's, it is, good morning. Morning coffee. Let's start with that. Wow. This is not my normal. I know I've never been normal, but this is not my normal. Today is not November 10th. It is not 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., or 7 a.m. It is a Saturday before because I need to do this differently because of the crazy week that we're going to have, and that's okay. So it's Saturday evening, and that's good. I actually recorded everything. I was having so much fun. I was doing it live. I did it on my phone, and I was in the car, and it was an early morning, and it was really cold outside, and just I had so much to say to you, and it wouldn't transfer from my phone over to the computer. It says the file's corrupted. So bugger that. So, I need to talk to you about evil things. I need to talk to you about good things, which is actually the same place. If you have a Hobby Lobby near you, evil. So it's the center of the universe of absolute evil, and heaven. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. I want to say welcome to everybody. I'm sorry because I'm trying to get this done. I don't have everyone's names, but thank you to all the subscribers that are new subscribers and members of the community. Welcome. You look good. I'm like tuckered out. Wow, this week's going to be awesome. I know I say that frequently, but it's going to be awesome. You know why? Because I'm focusing on some very specific projects, all for you, of course. But the other thing is I'm going to try something different. I'm not that guy. My wife tells me all the time I'm not that guy. And of course, my children, my sons, they keep trying. Well, they don't keep trying. They keep encouraging me to strive to learn how to fix things around the house, whether it's the car, whether it's plumbing, whether it's electrical, whether it's, anything. And I keep thinking, I'm not going to be that guy. But if I can learn how to fix it, I'll be that guy. Then my oldest son teases me and says, well, you know what, Dad? The truth is, Try to fix it. And even if you don't fix it, you'll be that guy. Oh, come on. So, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off because I don't want to be interrupted this morning while I'm talking to you. Why? Because it's important. It's very important. I have lots of things to discuss with you, and I've had experiences. I've got stories. I just do. I know. I'm awake. I'm excited. I'm hyper. Where should I start? Let's see. Should we start with evil? Evil, good. You know, people are amazing. People are also very curious. You know, back when I was a kid, I started doing all this stuff in 1986. So, roughly 16 years old. I like watching people. They're curious creatures. We do lots of stupid things, but we also do brilliant things. And I have this lovely, I'm going to call it blessing from God. Maybe you could call it a talent. I don't know. I think I'm very blessed and fortunate because I have this thing that I'm excited when you do well. That gives me a rush. I don't even have to be involved. I can see people who are succeeding and I get so excited and so happy. I think a lot of people do if they allow themselves to. But I love the potential of human beings. I absolutely love it. And I've had so many experiences this past week to show the height and the depth of humanity. And yeah, it kind of started when I was running some errands with my wife. I love my wife. I adore my wife. She's amazing. And we're out and about. We're having a good time. I'm keeping her company. That's why Chronicles was late on Friday. It's because I wanted to spend time with my wife. And she needed help. She needed muscle for moving things with shopping and things. She did lunch today for like 150 people, something like that. And so we're out grocery shopping, but we decided to take a side turn because, well, Christmas is coming. And not only that, Thanksgiving's coming up. So we went to Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby. There you go. It's like, how do you create something, a business that is in a warehouse as big or bigger than a Walmart, and arrange it in such a way that you walk in there and you want to buy everything on every shelf? How weird is that? I go with my wife, and I kid you not, I want to go buy fabric. Why? I don't sew. I don't make quilts. But everything there is just, yeah. Anyway, so my wife was there to get fabric. So she's going through and she's comparing. She says, what color should I do with this and that? She's including me in, yeah. So I like patterns. I like pretty things. I love colors. I'm fascinated by just pretty things. I love pretty things. You see my wife, you know I love pretty things. You see my daughters, you know I like pretty things. Anyway, so I look up on the wall, and up in Hobby Lobby, they have these huge displays up on, it's like 20 feet in the air. And I see Christmas decorations. Now, Santa Claus is okay. I like Santa Claus. You know, secret, it's your parents. It's not really a fat dude. Anyway, the point being here is I really like Frosty. I really like the snowman. I particularly like the snowman in Calvin and Hobbes when like the car's rammed into it and he has like the, you know, the scene and the and the snowman going and looking at the broken body. That's my sense of humor. However, I really love the snowmen. And so they had these huge, these big things that were as tall as me, and they were hanging up on the wall. I was like, I want one of those. Gosh, that looks great. And it says, let it snow. And okay, well, let me show you this first. I am at the most evil, wonderful store in the whole place, Hobby Lobby. Oh my heck. Walked in, didn't want to get anything, but I did. Of course. Why? Because we need to let it snow. So I'm trying to get to this thing while I'm in there. And they're up on the wall. My wife says, you know, you hardly ever like pick decorations. So when I actually say I like something, my wife latches onto it. She's like, we need to get that. Why? because you like it. You usually don't say anything. Well, that's because my wife has impeccable taste. So I have a beautiful home. My office. I love my office. My office is a mess. It's a I don't know. I got Jiminy Cricket in the corner. I've got skulls on my human skulls on my. They're fake, but I got human skulls on my shelves. I've got books. I've got electronics. I've got incense. You name it. But my house is beautiful. And anyway, so I look at these things. I'm like, I want one of those. She says, well, how much do they cost? I don't know. And she says, well, don't they have like, the price, displayed underneath? No, they don't. And I see the price tags, but they're on the top of his hat that's 20 feet in the air. Well, that's stupid. And I figured, okay, in my mind, I'm thinking, they probably have a display somewhere. Maybe that's like their inventory up on the wall. Turns out that's what it was. But I'm trying to figure it out. But I figured, all right, well, maybe the employees know how much these things are or where to find them. So we're in the fabric section. So I look over at the young woman who is cutting out fabric for a little old lady, and I walk over, and I have 9 daughters. I like shooting the breeze with people, especially the girls. I get them. So I walk over and say, you look intelligent, and you look like you can do multitasking. So I have a question for you. You know what she does? She totally ignores me. She was looking right at this woman who is probably 80-something years old. She says, ma'am, how many yards would you like? Ma'am, how many yards would you like? Ma'am, how many yards would you like? Then she slaps her hand down. She turns, she looks at me, and she goes, what do you want? Just like that facial expression. It's like, ooh. So I smiled, and I do what I normally do. Hello, sunshine. I figured I want to buy one of those things up on the wall, but I have no idea how much they cost. So how do I find out how much they cost? She looks over my shoulder and she yells, Karen, would you help this guy? And then she turns around and ignores me. Ma'am, how many yards do you want? So I look over my shoulder, and here's this young gal. She looks like she's 16, maybe 17. She's been outside. She's got a jacket on. She's got rosy cheeks. She is happy. She's glowing. And her name's Karen. Cool. So I say, apparently Chuckles here, which makes her laugh. Chuckles doesn't know what the prices are here, but I'm guessing that maybe there's displays somewhere in the store, but I wandered around and I couldn't find them. She goes, oh yeah, they are displays. She goes, but on the far side in the corner are all the Christmas, those displays. She goes, and they're on the end. She says, so if you go over there and look, you'll find the prices over there. But if there aren't any there, come back here. She says, I have a 20-foot ladder. I'll go up there and I'll get you one. I was like, Karen, you rock. I never found Santa. I never found Frosty. You know why? Because everything calls my name. I go down every aisle and everything whispers, buy me, buy me. I hate that place. It's evil. How do you do that? And I got trapped. At one point, I was so discouraged, and I walked back to my wife. She says, did you find it? I was like, no. She says, why not? Didn't that young lady tell you where they were? Well, yeah. Well, were there not any over there? I have no idea. I didn't get that far. She just starts laughing. Where did you get stuck? I was detained over in the art section. I had this, how shall I say this? I had an experience. Since my daughter, Leilani, introduced me to Procreate on an iPad, I haven't killed a single tree. That's been a long time. And I gave all of my drawing materials, my pads and everything to Simon, to my son. So I literally have not done any traditional media that I've had a whole career doing since I was a kid, but professionally since I was 16. And I walked past this aisle and I did a back, I backed up, I turned and go down this aisle. All the pads that I used to buy, all the pencils and the pens and the erasers and the horsehair brushes and the India ink and all the stuff that I love. And I started getting emotional because I realized I haven't done that in years. It's all been digital. Now, don't get me wrong. I like what I can accomplish digitally, but I miss that a lot. And I realized I don't have any pads. I don't have the pencils. I don't have. So I realized, you know what? Part of taking off December, I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw. That's what I realized. I miss that so much. I want to draw for fun. I want to draw for me and not for money. And the fun thing is when I draw for me, it ends up going to you guys anyway. So you get to see that stuff. But I want to draw. I want to live and breathe and create beautiful, curious things again. So I'm planning on doing that. We'll see what happens. But anyway, so we walk around and then she says, well, go back and try to find them again. I tell you, it's just evil. I went a different route. Still didn't make it. Why? Because I went down a certain aisle, and all of a sudden, comic books hit me in the face. I used to make comic books. I like comic books. I like Marvel. I like DC. I'm getting sidetracked by, Batman posters. I'm getting sidetracked by Marvel Universe posters. Oh my goodness. So I stopped. I was like, can't do it. I turn around, I go down another aisle, and I get stopped again. What is it this time? It's like wall art of sayings. I've got a saying right here that hangs on the side next to my desk. It says, a quiet man is a thinking man. A quiet woman is usually mad. But I was looking at these pictures, these, wood burning or what do they call it? Like toll painting, whatever, but the words painted on, and things like, I can kiss you whenever I want to. I was like, I would do that with my, or one that I loved that I wanted to buy and put it over, put it over a doorway that goes into the house, and saying, I would have chosen you. I would choose you again and again and again. The last time I bought one of those, you can't see it well. With God, all things are possible to believe up there. But there's one higher up, one of my favorite ones that says, the older that I get, the better I was. Anyway, so I'm looking at those, and then finally my wife found me. I found some lights, some neon lights. Yeah, I got some plans for next year. I think I'm gonna clean up and reorganize my office. I think you should have a better background than my old martial arts stuff and my baseball bat and all this stuff behind me. I think you should experience more class. Well, but you got me. I'll have to think that one through. Anyway, so finally my wife finds me, and we've got all of our stuff, and we go up to the checkout. Well, we get a young man. He looks like maybe he's 19. I don't know. I mean, most kids, they look like they're driving. They have a driver's license, and to me, they look like they're 12, so whatever. Anyway, so he's helping us. He's friendly enough. He's a kind young man. And so we're talking, and we go through, and we, by the way, my wife brought me Frosty, so I've got that. So, I take it and I go out to the car to get in to get the van, and to bring it back. And my wife gets in the car, and she's just laughing. She says, "You missed it." I said, "I missed what?" She goes, "You missed your opportunity." What are you talking about? She says, so I'm standing in line after I, he scanned the snowman. She says, we're going through all the fabric that I had. She goes, and Ditto calls, our oldest daughter, who's ready to have a baby anytime. And so my wife starts, it's Cecily. She's saying this out loud while he's ringing everything up. He's like, I wonder how she's doing. I wonder if she's in labor. I'll talk to her in a few minutes. And so she hangs up. She, swipes it and says, reject the call or whatever. And the kid looks at her and says, wait a minute, did you just hang up on your daughter that might be in labor? And she's like, yeah, she's just fine. She's been through this before. It's not, she has help there. And this is grandchild number 33. And he goes, how many kids do you have? She says, I have 13. He's reacting that way. This is the way my wife's describing it to me. And he's like, why would you? And then, this is the low part of humanity. We start getting opinions from people that we didn't ask for. We share the happiness and joy of our lives, and you get comments. And she says, and you missed it. You missed it, hun. You would have had fun with him. Oh, yes, I would. Yes, I would. I have fun with people online, especially if they're rude. They're not usually rude, but if they're rude, it's extra fun. Things like a woman, when we only had 6 children and we had a brand new baby girl, beautiful. And this 60-something-year-old woman was very nasty to my wife in line in front of the whole supermarket. And so I set my wife out there and I looked at her. I said, ma'am, that was not called for. We don't know you. Why would you be rude and say something like that? We love our family. We love our kids. Well, I would never have that many children. And I looked at her and I says, well, that's good. Some people ought not to breed. Anyway, so, Hobby Lobby is evil. It's heaven, but it's evil. And I don't know how they do it. I just don't. Do you have a Hobby Lobby near you? Lobby? Do I keep saying lobby? Anyway, so that was interesting. That was very, very interesting. We're doing chickens. No, we're not doing chickens. I'm building chicken things. So that I want to do this now so that I can have the rest of the week I want to build stuff. That's new. Had good friends that came over, darling people, farmers. They came over and they brought over 12 bales of hay so I can build a chicken house with it. It's a temporary structure till I can build something out of wood and things next year. But building a house and using Lego blocks. And then there's a community thing where they have really thick, 4-inch hard foam insulation. And I'm going to put that in on the 2 ends and on the top for a roof. My chickens are going to be warm. That's going to be awesome. And anyway, so I'm excited. So I'm going to build stuff. Ish. Yeah. Okay. What's happening? I'll tell you what's happening. We have more treats in December for you. You're going to get 2 things from me on December 1st. Thank you to Tell Me a Mystery, to Anne. Love you, Anne. Thank you. Thank you for your talents and sharing those things. So we have a surprise. We've been working on that. So that'll come 7 a.m. on December 1st, which is awesome. You'll also have something else that comes at 7 a.m. on December 1st and every day up to the 21st because we have that all planned. The other thing that's going very, very well is our second Substack, which is over at jamiebuckley.com. Now, that is for writers. That is the community that we're building, and it's growing. Wow. Got a bunch of paid supporters. That's awesome. So we're there. We're building that community. The fun thing is that we've started the new podcast, which is fundamental to that community, and that's free. Everything that is over there, not everything, lots of things over there, the information, the conversation, the community that's there is behind a paywall because that's a business. But it's a community that is powerful. You want to find people who have experience, who have been through what you're about to go through. Yeah, you're going to want to mix with us. We have a free side. We've got things there. But our podcast, which is called Nothing About This Is Safe, it's already... I released the first one because you can't really get into Spotify and iTunes or Apple Podcasts without publishing the first one. So I had to do that. But the fun thing is that the first one with Lisa Norman, with Delena Marr, it went so well. We've done a bunch more. I've got 100 top questions and problems that writers face over 2024 and 2025. And I wanted to address them. But I'm doing it in a different way. And it was so successful, that format, I got some members of our community to participate, some people that I respect. And the nice thing is that works so well. I love hanging out with Scoot. I love hanging out with everybody. But I was able to reach out to some professionals who I admire that have information that I think we could all use. And I reached out and I said, this is my podcast. It's brand new. Would you be willing to come on and to have a conversation with me? Now, people are usually leery when they don't know who you are. If you don't have, a large audience, that you don't have a track record, and that's fine. But the way that I do things with this podcast, which is insane and cool, is we take these questions and I tried to ask them in a very different way. I tried to ask it from the other side of the coin. And instead of normally with podcasts, you go and you invite a guest and then you interview that guest and the spotlight is on that guest. Now, I want to promote people, but I don't want to put pressure on people as well. Some of the subjects that we're going to be talking about soon, like AI, I still have so many questions about that. And it's not going to go away. And I found a guest who, once I outlined, I said, no, the questions I have, I can't do this just once with you. So I hope this works, because the first one that we're going to do this coming Friday. But I'm confident. It's fun. And the way that I do the podcast is I ask the question and then we shine the spotlight on the question, not on the guest. And then I work with the guests in a cooperative way to analyze that and to help writers, the listeners, to see it from a different perspective. And it's very powerful. It's kind of like how I write. Trigger questions. Kinda. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about AI because if you write, if you're creative in any way, it doesn't even matter if you're creative. If you're a business owner, this is still going to apply to you. But specifically to fiction writers, ooh, here's the thing. SEO isn't going away, but it is changing. And the amazing thing about that is AI is going to be involved. So if you're against AI, it doesn't matter. If you're for AI, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is AI is going to be indexing things like a librarian. And if you don't do things right and participate in a very specific way, you're going to be forgotten. And that's just the way it is. So we need to prepare. And because I discovered that, learned that from this particular guest, Alicia, I've got some questions, quite a few questions. So there was a 5-part series is the idea. I sent her the whole script, all the questions that I want to ask her. And she said it looks like fun. So she said yes. I hope that it goes well. I believe that it will. Cross your fingers. And I think you guys are going to love her. I haven't even talked to her yet. This has all been from private messaging. But I've read some of her work. I've read some of her articles. Mind-blowing. So good. So very good. So, so that's coming up. So check that out. Nothing About This Is Safe is the name of the podcast. We only have one out. I'll put a link down there in the show notes. And then we've got, what is it? What is the date? The next, oh my heck, what is it? We've got another Fiction Cartel coming up, and I believe that we're going, what is it? I've got to look this up. Sorry. I should have been more prepared, but I was shooting from the hip before anyway. So, that's the way it goes. Let's see. Finding your voice versus writing for an audience. That's what we're going to talk about. And that's on Tuesday, November 18th. That is what we are looking to do. So, potential people, the height. Be excited. Be excited that you're you. There's nobody else out there like you. I know that whole thing. You're special, just like everyone else. That's not how I look at it. Everyone has intrinsic value. Here's the other thing. All of us can be more. You are more than you think you are. I say that. I say that because I believe it to be true, and it is partially how I live. But be okay with you. You know things about yourself. You know that you're capable of things. But here's the thing. Do you believe it? Do you actually accept it and lean into it? And the reason why I'm saying that is because there are two things that I witnessed this week. One is a YouTube video. It's just down one of those rabbit holes. I was looking for something else completely, and this weird video just came in, and I went, wait, ninjas? Wait, what? 15-year-old kid? What? And it's amazing. You will be excited by the time. I was cheering. I was sitting here clapping loud. My neighbors probably heard me. I was cheering so loud. Exciting. But the other thing, the other experience was something a little closer to home. So Lolo, my daughter, Jamie Taylor, Lolo is the one that wrote the song for us. Well, she wrote it for someone else, but she lets us use it for morning coffee. You hear Lolo, who wrote it and plays the uke, and my daughter Carly, when she was much younger, and them singing this together. Well, Lolo, all my children have amazing talents, and I try to encourage them. They don't all listen to Dad. Not yet. But Lolo, she started leaning in hard to her talents. I'm so pleased. She's so talented. And I turned over one of my clients a couple years back and told her, you can be an illustrator just like your dad. And she did. And she is. And then she decided to start a whole new business. Check this out.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lolo. I am very excited to welcome you all to Epiphany Studios, where we believe that human beings were made to create. Art is medicine and therapy and meditation. So bring us your midnight musings, the jokes you only tell yourself, the words of a loved one that you never want to forget, the inspirational quote that you that you thought of in the shower this morning, and let us take those things and turn them into your favorite t-shirt or hoodie, tote bag, or mug. Whatever you can think up to put on a canvas will be hand-drawn, completely original, and 100% curated to you and your vision, because you are our motivation and our muse. And we are Epiphany Studios, your inspiration illustrated.
Isn't that awesome? That's just, I saw that on Facebook and I sat there and I just cried. I was like, I'm so proud of her. I hate that word, but I'm so pleased, so very pleased. I figure when I say when you're proud of something, I feel like you're taking credit for something that you didn't do. So I'm very pleased with my daughter, and I'm excited, and she's going to do amazing things. I think I want to find a way to promote her. But wow. Yeah. Oh, other thing, over at jamiebuckley.com, we are going to, well, actually they're live. We're going to play with them. We're going to develop them. There's a whole series of the Go Brunch environments that are available to the public that you can go and hang out with us. We're going to do, in fact, in 2 days, guess what? Anne from Tell Me a Mystery, she's going to start running writing sprints Wednesday mornings at, I think she said 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. And I'm going to join her on Wednesdays. Yeah, so we'll be in there. And I know a few of you, I've already told you, and you're going to join us. But she's going to do writing sprints over through jamiebuckley.com. So we've got that. We've got rooms where people can, writers can do public readings live with people. We're going to have classes. We're going to have lessons and workshops and things like that. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited. And that has nothing to do, really, with Life of Fiction. Life of Fiction is going to continue on going exactly the way it is, telling stories and having fun. Yeah. Over at jamiebuckley.com, that's where we try to teach you how to do the same. Awesome. Anyway, it's already been an amazing day, an amazing weekend. This has been a bit long, I know, shooting from the hip, but I love you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your encouragement. Tell me if there's something I can do for you. Yeah. Anyway, you are more than you think you are. You are. It's an amazing thing once you realize who you are and you can accept that and believe it. And then lean into it. Yeah. Have a good day. Have a good week. And we'll see you next time. Bye.